Vendeday's Blanc while we're finishing up on the triad.
Candid Blanc is one of my favorite wines to make for its simplicity. It's so easy. We get a lot of fruit and stick it in a press it, stick it in a stainless steel tank, and walk away from it. It's like the easiest wine to make. I kind of, depending on when the fruit's ripe, it typically co-ferments. What we'll do is, first fruit to come in is going to be Mueller-Thurgau, because I like to pick it on the lean side because I like where the pH is for that. And we'll press it, we settle it in a stainless steel tank, and then move it to another stainless steel tank and let it start native fermentation. The tank that we move it to is typically really big, so we gas a lot of the headspace with nitrogen so that we don't have oxidation. Typically there's no sulfur in it at that point. And then it'll start fermenting native, and we'll get the next round of fruit, which might be Pinot Blanc, and we'll press that and we'll settle that in a tank, and then we'll move the settled juice into the already fermenting Mueller-Thurgau. And we keep on adding as, Muscat comes in and Pinot Gris comes in. The last thing to come in is always the Riesling. So for 2 vintages that we've made it, the Riesling comes in too late to be co-fermented, because the base wine is already so dry. I don't want to shock it with a bunch of sugar and end up with a bunch of RS. And so we'll ferment the Riesling separate and then add it later so that it's dry. But the Riesling is also a really fun place to dial in the overall balance of the wine, because if last year the fires stunted out ripening in everything, but it really seemed to have an impact on some of the white varieties. And so Vendeday's Blanc was really lean. And Riesling, I let it hang out. I let it get riper to kind of round it out. And then I actually was able to buy more Riesling than what I was contracted for, which is why the percentage of Riesling went up last year, because I thought that the blend just needed it. So, so that's, do you want to say hi?
No way.
No way. Do you remember Jude? Do you remember a long time ago we were in Chicago and you played with a kid named Jude? Do you remember that? You were a baby.
He remembers you. He asked about you. He asked about how you're doing. He said, when can we play with Vigo again?
You want to go play with Lenny and Jude?
What we think about. I think yes.
He thinks yes.
Okay, we'd love to have you.
It'll be fun, right? Want to go to Chicago and hang out with those guys? Yeah?
Yeah. We've got slides. We've got Legos.
Legos and slides. You're speaking his language. Any fire trucks?
We have a lot of fire trucks.
Fire trucks. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
One thing I think I should do it.
I think you should do it too. I'll tell Jude. We'll make a date.
All right, here, take this. Go sit down. Thank you. Okay. There you go. All right. Yeah, so that's the Riesling is kind of the place where I can choose if the pH is too low and it's too lean, I can let it get riper. If the pH is starting to get a little too high, I can pick it leaner, or if I, if the alcohol looks like it's going to be 13 and I'd rather have it be 12, I can pick the Riesling later or earlier to, dial back the alcohol a little bit. So it's, I like the idea of with these blends hitting your balance point without any kind of artificial input.